Hi, I'm Nikki from Nicola Hageman Accountancy, and I'm just going to go through the self-employed income support scheme with you to see if you're eligible for claiming. The window to make your claims will be open on around the 13th or 14th of May, and HMRC will contact you directly. However, it's a good idea for you to be checking whether you're eligible now and updating your contact details, and I'll go through that a little bit later on. Okay, so the self-employed income support scheme is there to support sole traders who have been running their business for at least a year. So you need to have submitted a self-assessment return in the 18-19 tax year. That is a prerequisite. You have to have done that, otherwise you are not eligible for the scheme. The way that HMRC work this out, and let me just scroll down this page. I'll put a link to this this website in the comments. So you can see here, so who can claim? So you have to have traded in the 18-19 tax year and submitted a self-assessment tax return for the year. Now that was due back in January 2020, but if you didn't submit it in time, you had until the 23rd of April to actually submit that self-assessment return. So providing it was in by the 23rd of April, you're eligible for the grant for that step. You have to have traded in the 19-20 tax year. So that's the one that's just finished. So you needed to have been carrying on working. So although you haven't submitted that self-assessment return yet, and your figures for that year won't be taken into consideration, you have to have continued to trade within that year. You also have to intend to trade in the 2021 tax year. So that is from the 6th of April 2020 up until the 5th of April 2021. So if it wasn't for COVID-19, you would be trading now and continuing to trade through this year. You also have to have carried on a trade which has been adversely affected by coronavirus. So this happens in a number of ways. You can see down here some of the examples. So actually, just because you're shielding or self-isolating, that means your business has been adversely affected by coronavirus, and you'll therefore be eligible in that way. You also, if you have had to scale down your trade because your supply chain's been interrupted. So if you're a builder and you can't get to Wix or your local builder's merchant to be able to buy the stuff you need to be able to carry on your job, you have been adversely affected by coronavirus. Same as if you've had fewer clients. So even if you've got people knocking on your door to come and do work, if you can't get the materials in, then you've been adversely affected. And again, you are eligible for the claim. So to work out how much it will be, you have to have had your trading profits at no more than £50,000 within, on average, for the 3 years that you've submitted a self-assessment return. So if you've only submitted 2 years self-assessment because you actually only started trading in the 17-18 tax year, you have to have an average on those 2 years of that 50,000. So that's a cap. If your trading profits are higher than that, then you won't be able to claim. Now remember, profits are after all your expenses. So you have your turnover, that could be higher than 50,000, and that's totally fine. You then take your expenses off, so that's all your materials, any staff costs and travel, etc. And then you get your profit. That's the bit at the bottom. This is what you pay tax on, and this is the figure that HMRC are going to take into consideration when they're doing these calculations. So if this figure here is more than 50,000 on average, or this figure here is less than half of your total income. So if you also have a PAYE job and that earns more than your self-employed job, you won't be eligible for this either. So just be aware, and you can have a look at your old self-assessment returns to see what your figures were to work out if you're eligible or not. But HMRC will be able to do those calculations for you. So what they're going to do is they're going to work out your 3 years average. So you've got 2016-17, 2017-18, and 2018-19. And what they're going to do is look at your taxable profit in each of those years, add them together. They're then going to divide them by 3 to give you an average annual income. And then they're going to divide that average income into 12 months. You will then get 80% of that 1 month, and you'll get 3 months worth in a lump sum. Now I know that's lots of numbers for you. Let me break it down a little bit with some easy figures. So say you earned, we're going to go for £12,000 each year. So in those 3 years, you earned £36,000. Your average per year, so divide it by 3, your average per year is 12,000. and divide that by 12 and you get your average monthly figure, and that's a £1,000. So that's where they're going to base your income on. So they're going to base your income on £1,000 per month as an income. You'll then get 80% of that. 80% of that figure is £800. So you will then get that per month. And at the moment, it's a 3-month grant. So you'll get 3 times that £800. So that's £2,400. And that's the figure that you will be getting as your claim, as your grant. And that will be what you'll be able to apply for and what HMRC will calculate for you. So this grant is taxable income. So when you come to do your self-assessment return for 2021, you will need to include your grant figure in your income figures. Now, you will therefore pay tax on it, but it means you've got the money in. So this is replacing your income that you've lost over this 3-month period. So you should still have a similar income level for the full year. So yeah, just remember that if you've got an accountant or a bookkeeper that's doing your self-assessment return, make sure they know how much that grant was that you received. And if you're doing it yourself, make sure that that's entered into your self-assessment return. I don't know where it's going to go yet. I don't know if it's going to be a separate section to put that in, and whether HMRC will have that figure for you, or whether it's going to be cast as like an other income or part of your trading income. So just be aware that it needs to go in, and we'll have more guidance as we get to the end of the tax year as to where that's going to go. Okay, so when you come here, you can check whether you're eligible to claim. What this will do is it will ask you for your UTR number and your national insurance number. Now, your UTR number is the figure that goes on your self-assessment return. It's not your login for Government Gateway ID. It's the UTR number. If you get a letter from HMRC, it might be called Our Reference, but it's a long number that will be your on your self-assessment return. So find those, go and check if you're eligible. So this online tool here will help you go through if you're eligible. So I can't do this because I haven't got an account that I'm able to check with, and as an agent I can't check on behalf of my clients. So if you go through this, you'll put your self-assessment return, your UTR number in here. The next page will ask for your national insurance number, and then when you click submit, it tells you straight away if you're eligible to claim. It will also tell you the date that you can claim from. What it will then do is it will ask for your contact details. So for this, you will need your Government Gateway ID login. Now, if you don't have one of these, I'm going to do another video as to how to get your Government Gateway ID. But for now, we'll just assume you've got it. What you do is you log in as normal to your Government Gateway ID, the Government Gateway account. When you get through, it will ask you to confirm your email address and your phone number and submit it. And that's all. Then they will know how to contact you about this grant. So once you've done that, everything is ready to go, and you'll get an email, I'm assuming on the 13th or 14th of May, depending on when you can claim from. And that will then show you exactly the steps to go through. I am expecting that you will have to log into your Government Gateway account. And then when you've logged into your Government Gateway account, it will then have details of how to make that claim. At the moment, I haven't seen it. So obviously the portal's not open yet. So I'm not able to go in and have a look at how that works. I imagine that what they will do is they will ask you to confirm that you have continued trading in 1920, because that's a requirement, that you intend to continue in 2021, and you have been adversely affected by coronavirus. I expect they will ask you to tick those boxes to confirm that you agree with those statements. So obviously that's you declaring that you're eligible for the grant. I then expect that they will tell you how much that they're going to pay you, and then probably they'll ask for your bank details to make that payment through. Now, just be aware that I imagine there will be some scam emails going around. So if you do get something through from HMRC, obviously you're expecting it, but just check the website when you come up to it that it is on a legitimate web page. And it could be that you could actually Google to log into your Government Gateway ID and go in directly rather than from an email link. Just to be aware and just be mindful that there will be people out there trying to get your bank details from you or other information to be able to log in. So just be aware of it. But yeah, if you have any questions at all, please ask either in the Facebook group, LinkedIn, or drop me an email directly. Nicola Hageman Accountancy is my website, so go and have a look at that. Again, I'll put all the links in the comment. So yeah, hopefully that's helped, and please let me know if there's anything else that you'd find useful. Thank you.